everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Garrett from @Go with Garrett. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 ways to create boho-inspired home decor for your space using items that I got from either the Dollar Tree or the local craft store, keeping it super simple and super affordable. Before we get into the video, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I share affordable DIYs, home decor, and other home-related content right here on my channel, and I would love to have you join me. Now, without further ado, let's get into these DIYs. For our first DIY, we're going to be using this string of beads that I got from the Dollar Tree Crafter Square. I believe these are a part of the fall collection, and I thought they were such a great find, so I grabbed quite a few of them. We're also going to be using this beaded garland that I got from Hobby Lobby's fall collection. Normally these are $5.99, but I got them on a day when fall decor was 50% off, so I ended up getting 2 for the price of 1. I also have some jute twine on hand that we'll be using to string our own beaded flower garland. So first thing I did was unravel a pretty long piece of the jute twine. I didn't measure it, I just made sure to have a really long piece. I then removed all of the beads from each of the garlands and put them in this handy dandy divider that I recently made in one of my Dollar Tree DIY videos. And before we start to thread the beads onto the jute twine, I am adding a piece of tape to the leading end in order to keep it from fraying and just overall making it easier to get it through each of the beads. And then I tied a knot on the other end to keep the beads from falling off as we put them on. Now we are ready to start adding our beads. So I first added 12 of the smaller beads onto the jute twine. Once those 12 were on, I added 1 of the bigger beads. From there, I counted back 4 of the smaller beads and then looped the jute twine back through that 4th small bead, as you can see me doing here. And then I pulled the string all the way through, keeping all the beads tight and together as I did. And don't worry, I will explain this one more time before we move on. But you can see as we pull the string through, the strand of beads starts to essentially fold onto itself with the smaller beads circling the bigger bead. In order to complete our flower shape that we're creating, we're going to add 4 more of the smaller beads. And once we've done that, then we need to connect both halves of the flower that we've created together. So in order to do that, we will take the jute twine and feed it back through the last bead on that first half of the flower that we created, as you can see me pointing out here. Once we've gotten it through the bead, we're going to pull the jute all the way through, and as we do, the beads will encircle the other side of the bigger bead, completing the flower shape, and now you can see the vision coming to life. Now again, from the top, I'm adding 12 of the smaller beads and 1 of the bigger beads. After adding the bigger bead, we're going to go back 4 of the smaller beads and feed the jute twine back through that 4th smaller bead, pulling the string all the way through until we see the first half of our flower take shape. Then we're going to add 4 more of the smaller beads and feed the twine again through the last bead of that first half we created in order to connect the halves together. I repeated this process until I had ran out of the smaller beads, and it turns out that you can make 6 flowers by following this pattern, but I wanted to double the length of the garland, so I took another one of the smaller string of beads and continued this process until I had 12 flowers total. This one might sound a little complicated at first, but once you get it going, this is a super easy project and I love how it turned out. This would be super cute if you wanted to paint it different colors, but I liked the natural look for the boho vibes and it looks great hanging from our fireplace. For the second DIY, I'm using a spool of this cotton rope cording from Michaels for only $9.99 in order to recreate this decorative mirror that I saw at IKEA recently for $33. The first thing I decided to do was create the braided border that goes around the mirror, so I cut 3 long strands of the rope and tied them together at one end, then taped that to my surface so I could start to braid the pieces together. I just did a simple basic braid because that's what I know how to do, but you could definitely do a more intricate braid or some kind of macrame to give it a different look if you want. Once I had braided a long enough piece, I tied a knot at the other end to keep it all together and set it aside until I was ready to apply it to the mirror. Next, I wanted to go ahead and create the fringed look that hangs down from the mirror, so I'm using a 12-inch mirror that I also got from Michaels for only a few dollars. I cut several strands of the cotton rope cording, all roughly the same length, and started to lay them out across the back of the mirror. And for some reason my camera didn't record this next step, but I had to go back in and add some more strands afterwards anyways. So basically I hot glued all of the strands onto the back of the mirror and then added a little hot glue over the top of them as well to make sure they were really secure. From there, I unraveled each strand, turning them each into 3 smaller strands, and this gives the fringe a fuller, more textured look, which I love. And once I was done with that, I was ready to glue the braided strand around the circumference of the mirror. So I cut off the knot at the end and applied some hot glue to the mirror, and then started to apply the braided strand on top of that. I hot glued a little loop of jute twine on the back to serve as a little hanger for the mirror. And then once I had the mirror on the wall, I gave the fringe a little haircut to get a slightly cleaner look across the bottom, but it still had some natural unevenness and variation, which I think is perfect for this project. For our third project, we are keeping it super easy and creating a boho wreath. I'm using one of these wood blend wreath forms from Dollar Tree, as well as this bundle of faux pampas grass that I got from HomeGoods for $15. The great thing about this pampas grass is that each of these smaller pieces slides right on out of the bigger branch pieces, as you can see here, and then they can very easily slide right into the wreath form, which is also great for this project because the wreath has so many openings that the pieces can be inserted into, and that provides a natural support, so you don't even have to use any hot glue for this project. I just kept adding the pieces of pampas grass to the wreath form, making sure it had a nice full look to it, and using the entire bundle I had purchased from HomeGoods. I love how easy this project is, yet you still get a super high-end boho look for super cheap. Alright y'all, that wraps up this DIY video. Let me know which project was your favorite in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and consider sharing it with somebody who you think might also enjoy it. Before you head out, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I would love to have you join me here as I keep trying to grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see y'all in the next one.